Marcia O'Brien says she was 8 months pregnant when her husband, Olympic figure skater Lloyd Eisler, became involved with Skating with Celebrities co-star Kristy Swanson. Take a look.
I married Olympian Lloyd Eisler. We shared a lot of common interests. We loved the outdoors, into physical activity, motorcycles. It was fabulous. Lloyd retired shortly after we had gotten married, so some major life changes for us, him in particular. He missed being in the limelight. From there, things just seemed to get worse and worse. Lloyd received an offer to do the television show Skating with Celebrities, and at the time things were still pretty rocky between the two of us, but I felt that that was probably exactly what he needed to be able to become a star again. I was exhausted at this point. I was, I think, 7, 8 months pregnant, so despite the fact that I was pregnant and had a 1-year-old and was working full-time, I said, go ahead, this is obviously something that you need. I went with him for the first 2 weeks to Los Angeles. I thought it was just going to be the two of us spending time together, and suddenly it was the 4 of us, his skating partner Kristy Swanson and her boyfriend, and Lloyd and I, and it just seemed to rub me the wrong way. When I approached him about my concerns that he and Kristy seemed to be spending so much time together, he just felt that I was being hormonal because I was pregnant. The two of them had won the show, so we went to a wrap party. At the wrap party, there were a few things that had happened that made me feel somewhat uncomfortable, but then he'd come up and, he'd have his arms wrapped around me, and I had my big belly, and I thought, this isn't the time or the place. Tomorrow we're gonna leave. Lloyd's never gonna see this person again, so I just put it aside. November 4th, I opened up my email, and there was an email that Lloyd had sent to Kristy, and it was basically expressing his feelings toward her, how much he loved her, he wanted to wake up beside her, and as soon as I read it, I knew exactly what I had to do. So I called him, and I just said, we're done. All of your stuff will be in the garage, and we're through.
Well, that brings a smile to your face, Marcia.
Remembering back, yes.
Remembering back.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is the first time you've spoken out about this.
Correct.
Okay, you went through a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me, what was the time that you struggled the most with that knowledge? I mean, for a while you were, I'm sure, suspicious. Mm-hmm. Did you think of not bringing it up?
With him?
Yeah, did
Never.
you ever? No.
No,
you were like,
not
no, he's going to address
personality,
this.
yes.
What's it like? Tell me, what did it feel like?
It's something I don't know that you can explain until you're in that situation, because like you said, you can't hide from it. I had 2 kids that I had to protect as well. I come from a relatively small community, and
sure.
When everybody knows your business, it's hard enough to deal with the things that you're dealing with to begin with, but then having everybody else know, and it put that much more pressure
right.
on me.
And you had suggested that this might be a way for him to regain his self-esteem, to be back in the limelight. Mm-hmm. So what are your feelings about the show now that he participated in, mm-hmm. the woman he came to be with? Thoughts?
Thoughts on her? Essentially, it's not about her. It's all about Lloyd. He was the one that stood up before his family and friends on our wedding day and gave his marriage vows. He's the one who had a 1-year-old at home and a 7-month-old in utero.
Right.
That it's about him, it's not about her.
When this was going on, the skating particularly, mm-hmm. did you have an inkling that it was unfolding? I mean, there were, people were talking, oh, they seem very attached mm-hmm. as they're, mm-hmm. Skating together, but did you think that was just him being a good skater and actor, or what?
Well, that's what he portrayed it to be. I think
what did he say? Yeah.
Through all of this, one of the biggest things for me is I've learned to trust my instincts. And when something doesn't seem right, I guess it was difficult because I couldn't specifically pinpoint any particular thing that had happened, but just trusting my instincts to say that something's wrong.
Something's not right. Was there ever a time when your husband came to you and said, I just want to get back?
Get back together?
Yes.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yes. And that was, again, something that I really struggled with because I was afraid. I mean, I was pregnant. To step out of your marriage is extraordinarily difficult.
So afraid, pregnant, and you said...
Not a chance.
You seem so strong. And yet, one would think with a 1-year-old, your son, and another on the way, and finding out that your husband is in love with his skating partner, that there had to be moments when you weren't, like, put together like this.
Oh, absolutely, without a doubt. But I think in a way, having a 1-year-old and being pregnant, as much as it seemed so difficult at the time, it almost brought me more strength, and that's what I focused on. Was it's one thing for him to do this to me, but for him to do it to Ethan or to my child that's still in my belly, that I think I drew more strength from that.
Was he there for the birth of your child?
No.
No. Was that a decision you made?
That was a decision that I made, yes.
Okay.
I really felt that most vulnerable time in a woman's life is giving birth to the child. And
that he had made a decision.
Yes.
Now, he maintains that he was not having an affair while he was on the television program skating with Christy.
Right, which is a complete lie. I have emails that he sent me where he admits to when they started sleeping together, how many times they had slept together.
How do you rebuild when that kind of an event takes place? You're delivering your child. You said there are too many episodes to count, really, of times you needed to really reach down deep.
Relying on friends and family, drawing from their energy. It's amazing how much strength your children can bring to your life. Within the first couple of weeks, I had changed my last name. I went back to my maiden name.
So this was very quick for you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Again, because I knew what I needed to do. I didn't necessarily want to do what I was doing, but I knew that that's what I needed to do. And I'm at a point now where it's the best thing that I could have done, and I know that.
What you did, where you were able to separate your heart, as you said, from your mind, you learned that somehow. It can't be the first time in your life you've needed to do that. Is there something that you experienced earlier in your life that gave you that kind of courage? Is it the support of a particular person?
Could be the support of my family and my friends. They're incredible. I feel so blessed to have the people that surround me that do.
We'll be right back.
If you're having issues in your relationship that you would like to discuss with Dr. Keith, call 1-888-DR-KEITH or go to drkeithtv.com.